Young Thug's case takes a wild turn. Yo, big news just dropped in the Young Thug case, and it's got everyone talking. Judge Glanville, the man who's been presiding over the whole thing, is out. Yeah, you heard that right. He's been officially removed from the case, and it sent shockwaves through the legal system and the hip-hop world alike. This is huge, people, and it could change everything for Young Thug and the future of this case. Now you might be wondering, why all the fuss over a judge being removed? Well, in a case as high profile and complex as this one, every single player matters. The judge especially holds immense power. They decide what evidence is admissible, how the trial is conducted, and ultimately whether Young Thug walks free or not. So, yeah, this is a big deal. This removal throws a whole lot of uncertainty into the mix. It's like hitting the reset button on the whole case. We don't know yet who the new judge will be, how they'll approach the case, or what it means for Young Thug's chances. One thing's for sure, though, this is about to get very interesting. So the million-dollar question is, why was Judge Glanville removed in the first place? Well, it all boils down to concerns about bias. Yep, you see, the judge's impartiality is absolutely crucial for a fair trial, and in this case, there were some red flags raised about Judge Glanville's ability to remain neutral. One of the main issues stemmed from comments Judge Glanville made about Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele. He suggested that Steele was deliberately trying to delay the trial, which raised eyebrows about whether the judge was prejudiced against the defense. Additionally, some legal experts questioned whether Judge Glanville had been too harsh in his rulings against Young Thug's co-defendants. This raised concerns about whether he could be fair and impartial when it came to Young Thug himself. Remember, justice has to be seen to be done, and when there are doubts about a judge's impartiality, it casts a shadow over the entire case. Now, let's talk about Brian Steele, the man with the tough job of defending Young Thug. This judge removal could be a game changer for him and his client. You see, Steele has been very vocal about his concerns with Judge Glanville's handling of the case. He's argued that the judge's rulings have been unfair and that they've put Young Thug at a disadvantage. With a new judge on the bench, Steele has a fresh start. He has the opportunity to present his case without the baggage of previous rulings and perceived biases. This could give him more leeway to challenge the prosecution's evidence and argue for Young Thug's innocence. Of course, it's not going to be easy. The prosecution still has a strong case, and Steele will need to be at the top of his game. But this removal of Judge Glanville could be the break he needs to build a stronger defense for Young Thug. Section 4. Could this be the end, the possibility of dismissal? Okay, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. Could this judge removal lead to the case against Young Thug being dismissed? Well, it's possible, but it's definitely not a slam dunk. Here's the thing. For the case to be dismissed, Brian Steele would have to convince the court that the judge's removal was more than just a procedural hiccup. He'd have to prove that Judge Glanville's alleged bias had irreparably tainted the case, making it impossible for Young Thug to get a fair trial. That's a high bar to clear. It's not enough to show that the judge made a few questionable rulings. Steele would need to demonstrate a pattern of bias that clearly prejudiced the proceedings against Young Thug. While the judge's removal is a significant development, it's not a guaranteed get-out-of-jail-free card for Young Thug. It's just another twist in this already complicated legal battle. Section 5, the bigger picture. Glanville's removal sends shockwaves. The removal of Judge Glanville isn't just about Young Thug, it has much wider implications for the legal system, especially in high-profile cases. It highlights the critical importance of judicial impartiality and the public's trust in the justice system. When a judge is removed for alleged bias, it sends a message that the courts are taking these concerns seriously. It shows that they're willing to take action to protect the integrity of the legal process. This case also underscores the power of public scrutiny. The intense media attention surrounding Young Thug's case, coupled with legal experts' opinions, likely played a role in Judge Glanville's removal. This case could set a precedent for future cases where judicial bias is suspected. It could encourage more scrutiny of judges' conduct and potentially lead to a more accountable and fairer justice system for everyone. Section 6. What's next for Young Thug? The saga continues. So, what's next for Young Thug? That's the big question. The removal of Judge Glanville throws a whole lot of uncertainty into the mix. It's a waiting game now, folks. The first order of business will be appointing a new judge. This new judge will have a lot on their plate. They'll need to get up to speed on this complex case, review previous rulings, and decide how to proceed. Brian Steele will likely use this opportunity to file new motions and challenge previous decisions made by Judge Glanville. The prosecution, meanwhile, will be trying to maintain its momentum and keep the pressure on young Thug. One thing's for certain, this case is far from over. It's going to be a bumpy ride with plenty more twists and turns along the way. We'll be watching closely to see how it all unfolds. So, stay tuned, because this saga is just getting started.